Kevin Pien, who is with the Army Corps of Engineers. Kevin, we're happy to have you here, and we know that you are continuing to do important work in finding the unexploded ordnance and getting rid of it, cleaning the area up for us. If you can tell us about that.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm Kevin Pien. I'm a project manager for environmental cleanup projects with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I'm based out of Fort Shafter, and Dr. Brennan invited me here. He as well as Dr. Bellows and Irish Ritchie serve on our restoration advisory board for this cleanup project that we have going in Maunawili. And they invited, Dr. Brennan invited me to come and share a little bit about the history of that project with you and sort of what we're doing, just to update you. And you know, as you can see from the sign that Dr. Brennan has, this is one of the legacies from this extraordinary period of history that we're still dealing with today. Hopefully you can all somewhat see this picture, but this is the tent city that the Army regiment that was stationed on this side resided in. This is a shot from the top of the Oniava Hills looking towards the Pali. So the Pali is coming down through here. You can see the Pali Road. And basically this is where HPU is currently. HPU and the Pali Golf Course. And you can see that it's quite extensive. And this was used between 1943 and 1945 and probably housed a regiment level. You're talking thousands of soldiers that were residing at this location, but they were training within the Maunawili area, as you're probably well aware, part of which was used as an artillery impact area. And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is currently charged with investigating and cleaning up, if necessary, these types of areas of usage with unexploded ordnance. And in Maunawili, we've been doing quite a bit, starting back from the 90s through today. There's been a series of investigations. In 2011, we did a cleanup of 40 acres, and the impact area was located, based on our physical and historical information, was located way back in the valley, past Maunawili Falls, where the Luluku banana farmers area was. So, as I mentioned, in 2011 we did that cleanup of those 40 acres, pulled out about 20 munitions items. In the 2013 and 2014 time period, we've also did additional investigation of Maunawili, the Maunawili area more broadly, to see if there are any other areas of contamination. So we did a lot of transects through the jungle, and we found an additional 7 items. And we actually focused many of our investigations on the hiking trails because we knew that's where people are most likely to come into contact with these things. And in the course of that investigation, we identified and disposed of a few more items. And we're moving forward with the process in conjunction with the public. We have public meetings, which the Restoration Advisory Board and the public are invited to attend. So if you'd like more information about that, participating in those, please come and talk to me. But the main focus of what we're doing is we're trying to promote safety with regards to this legacy, these remnants that are out there. And as part of that, we come and try and talk to school assemblies, we talk to community events like this, and we're always thankful to be able to come and participate and share that safety message, which comprises of 3 R's, not reduce, reuse, and recycle, the different 3 R's, but just as important, if not more so. They are recognize, retreat, and report. So sort of recognize if something might look suspicious, Don't touch it, don't pick it up, leave it where it is. Make note of its location, get it out of the area, and warning people around, and report it by calling 911. And that's the best way that people can stay safe with regards to these types of contamination. So I've got some materials, a shopping bag filled with some materials that reinforce that information, as well as some information on the program, this particular project. Again, I thank you for your time. And I've got a couple other, so this is a picture of the location. And this is in the Army Corps of Engineers. Of course, we have a schematic of the layout of the pictured area. So if you'd like to come up later and come take a look, but I mean, each one of these areas holds quite a number of people. And this is just a diagram of another training use that the military had in Maunawili. It's an infiltration course, which is basically an obstacle course, and preparing the soldiers for war. So if you'd like to have any questions on any of these things.
Could we realign this thing? Actually, this shot is being taken from the Poly lookout. This is the Poly road here. There's Colonial Cam Highway. You see Colonial across here. And up in here would be where HPU is. And then this entire area is above the road, below the park. And we go over that Poly back and forth every day to go to school.
So it looks like I have the directions mixed up. This is being shot from the Poly down towards HPU instead of on the Outlet Hills.
The quarry is on the back side of HPU.
Okay. Well, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for coming to talk to us. I like to hike in Maunawili, so I'm wondering, can you describe what some of the suspicious ordnance would look like?
What it might look like
Well, yes,
is
what
the
were you-
question. Yeah. So there's not one specific item or thing to look out for, other than it's a metallic item. It may be rusted. It may be different shapes, different sizes. So some of the things that we found range from 37, 57, 75 millimeters, so that's diameter. Projectiles, actually we found a 105 round, which is quite large. You're talking about something that long, and 105 millimeters, you're probably talking about that. So that was a very large item that we found 18 inches under the ground. Our crews go out with metal detectors, and basically they dig every single ring that they find to figure out what it is. So very labor intensive. But to answer your question, the rule is if you didn't drop it, don't pick it up. That's the rule. And if you happen to come across something, please call it in. The lucky thing is that, the fortunate thing is that in 60 years, 70 years of this, thank God we haven't had an injury. Other places in Hawaii and the nation, there have been injuries and fatalities from these types of hazards. But fortunately at this project site we have not had that to date. And I think hopefully that's a good sign.
I have a question. What do Corps engineers know about the Mokapu? Those were used as target practice. Yeah, they fired artillery from Mokapu Point to the Mokapu on the west, and Mokapu immediately was taken on the ground. And they used the other island as bombing practice from the wartime P-47. Drop the bombs on that and fire rockets.
So the question is, what does the Corps engineers know about the Mokapu Islands? And class military use of those that location. I don't know specifically about the Mokapu Islands, but
That's
other.
to my knowledge, we lived right on the beach, we saw it, but I never saw anybody come in and do a raiding. So they probably never been looked at.
Yeah, a number of the offshore islands were used as aerial bombing targets. They may have been using practice bombs, which may or may not have contained. Well, practice bombs did not contain explosive, but if they were using live ordnance, then
I know that they did use some live ordnance,
So-
especially the rockets. You can see them explode in the air.
so a number of those offshore islands are in our inventory, and I'll have to check specifically with regards to the Mokapu.
Those things probably could have been done and nobody even was talked about it. And back in those days, the military, if we want to shoot at that island, we will.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the case. Sir, did you have a question?
My question was about Rabbit Island, so answered yes.
Rabbit Island is definitely on our list. Yes, I mean, we work through our inventory based on the funding that Congress allows for us. So we have a long list, and we get about $10 to $15 million a year for the entire state and Hawaii, as well as Guam, CNMI, American Samoa. So we have a large area of responsibility, and we're working through it as best as we can. Another question.
So you say to report, if we see anything unusual, what number do we call to report that?
We call it into 911.
Okay, just 911.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah, HPD should send their bomb squad out to take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for the audience. May I?
Yes.
Was any one of you, or